Hello, this is Don't Bury the Lead. And Dom and I are talking about not one, but two different botches we saw on WWE Smackdown.
Interesting wrinkle.
And Dom, this is a positive podcast. We try to be, we're not going to just bring people down and trash them and talk how bad the product is. I
We
think
don't bury the lead, and we try not to bury the wrestlers
we
either.
don't, yeah,
It's entertainment. We're trying to be entertained.
if for some reason we do not bury the wrestlers, and it might be part of the title subconsciously seeped into my head where it says "Don't bury," where I don't want to bury anybody. But there was a pretty ridiculously bad botch during the match. So someone who I've never seen before reaches under the ring, and she goes to pull out a table. And she really fumbles around with it for a while. And they're
Raquel Rodriguez, Shotzi's tag team partner.
Okay, Raquel Rodriguez, who, if Vince McMahon is in the building or on a Skype call, I can only imagine he is screaming at her when she comes back, because she pulls the table out. It takes like forever. She sets the table up. Then she goes to put somebody into like a pile driver. I think that was
Sonya Deville.
Sonya Deville. She goes to put her into a pile driver. So even as I explain the spot, you could just imagine it's taking forever.
They're on the ring steps, which have been pushed over to the announce table. So Sonya Deville is between the knees there. It could be a pedigree onto, the tables behind them. They're on the ring steps next to the thing. It could be whatever, power bomb if she's going to spin. But Raquel Rodriguez is going for some sort of large pickup move onto Sonya Deville. They're using the ring steps for leverage. The table's behind them. And then what happens, John?
And then Liv Morgan does some sort of kind of lariat, and she connects with the lariat and hits the girl, Rodriguez, and she goes back, kind of nudges the table and hits a little bit, doesn't go through the table. Everybody's just like laying there. They all just kind of fall to the ground, and then they're just laying there. The table doesn't break, and the crowd just sits there in silence for about 5-10 seconds. They're like, oh, that was the spot. And then the crowd just starts chanting, table, table, table.
Right. Again, the second table chant we got in the six-pack match.
Because people realize that the table is still not broken, and
it was too far away.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be something off of where those ring steps were. That table needed to be closer, because it probably would have been a botch if they tried to go through the table with Raquel Rodriguez's move. She would have had to jump back. It looked like a good 4 or 5 feet.
There was no
They would have missed even worse if that lariat spot wasn't thrown into the mix there.
Seeing how Raquel Rodriguez positioned Sonya Deville and how she put everything together, if she had tried to pile driver, she might have broken this girl's neck. Like I was so nervous when she was like climbing around and she was slow, and I was like, what is she doing? And maybe they missed the spot. I kind of would have preferred somebody to kind of get up, no sell, and then just slam somebody through the table and then get the table broken. Like, okay, we botched the spot. Who cares? Hit the table again and break it. Do something.
On the other hand, and the announce table brought this up, it looked like a nasty spill against the edge of the table. I think it was Wade Barrett who mentioned that that's the worst part of the table to hit. And it looked like Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez hit right on the edge of the table. And so they were playing up that it was nasty looking.
So in the spirit of two botches tonight, so that one was pretty bad, and they just kind of like didn't react, and the crowd started to chant table, table. There was another botch that was a happy accident, and Sheamus came out to shoot a promo, and his mic kept cutting out. So he's trying to shoot the promo, and his mic's cutting out. Roman Reigns is in the ring, and he just immediately calls him out. And he's like, you can't even say what you want to say on the mic. And then
Yeah,
everyone's
see,
like, oh, and then like brings the house down with that one line. It was like, so that was a
pro
great
wrestlers can improvise.
that is like,
You know that from being in the ring. You've got to be able to go with the flow, right? I mean, not
yeah.
everything works perfectly, not everything works the way you planned it, and you've got to be able to entertain in the moment, spontaneous.
So Chris
You know that.
Jericho likes to say he doesn't like the word botch because it just indicates like, oh yeah, like they screwed it up. So even though like Sheamus screwed it up, or I should say, really, the technical team screwed it
Yeah,
up
right.
when Sheamus came out and couldn't say anything on the mic. They really played it off perfectly, and it was like, this is probably better than anything Sheamus would have said, and
Yeah,
then what Roman would have said. It's
yeah,
like your
right.
mic doesn't work. Oh yeah, bang! They hit the ring. They start brawling. You're like, okay, cool. Versus, that table spot, they just kind of laid around.